Good evening, folks. Hardened here, back with another Eve Echoes DIR Reflections PvP 3v3 PvP event video on Sunday evening my time, 7:13 p.m. in the evening. Kids are going back to school tomorrow after Chinese New Year break, so I actually got them to bed early tonight. I know it's been open all day today. I did play a few games earlier. I think I played about 7. I did lose 1 against a triple Apoc team, but funnily enough got a replay against them immediately afterwards, and as I was aware of what I was going to be up against, I actually beat them the second time around, which was nice. So anyway, I'm going to jump in. I'm not going to waste too much time. I'm just going to go in and record a series of fights. Again, how many fights will depend on how long they take, so we'll get started straight away. Don't want to waste too much time, so let's jump in, see what we get. And let's start. So obviously same Raven Striker team, haven't really fiddled around too much. I think I mentioned this the other day that the fights are tending to get a bit tougher. People know a lot more experienced than they were, and a lot of the ships are better than they were originally, but still doing pretty well at it so far. I think I'm still in the top, I think two of my odds are in the top 30 or 40, which, considering the fact I don't really play that much in terms of time, I think is still doing pretty okay. Alright, so this looks like quite an easy one. We have got an Atron there, which really is not scary in the least. I'm just going to turn my tank on. My primary here is going to be the Raven. And what I'm going to do is I'll just put my target painters on, so 6 target painters on my other 2 ships, blow him up nice and large, and then I'm just going to move away because I'm not sure if that Vindicator is going to come charging in or not, but I'll just make it a little bit slower for him. Again, okay, so I'm starting to do damage on the Raven, so I am going to stick on my damage controls now. Again, not too worried. Well, that Raven, God, I don't know what he's doing, what his fit is, but and someone is attempting to nuke me from that distance. I should have actually locked up the Vindicator before. I didn't expect that Raven to die quite as quickly, so God knows what was on that setup, but let's lock him up. The Atron is just, looks like it's gonna suicide himself, but yeah, let's just hit the Vindicator now. Again, from what I can tell, no damage at all on any of my ships. The Vindicator doesn't seem to be making a move. Yeah, the Atron is just going out, just suiciding himself as he turned around. Maybe he has. Okay, we'll just strip the shield on the Vindicator. I forgot to turn on my target painters, which I will do. And as I'm hitting him now, I will turn on another 2 ballistic controls. So yeah, the Atron, I feel sorry for the Vindicator pilot here and the Raven pilot, because obviously as soon as you do a kind of just a general pickup team and you end up with someone in an Atron or someone in a cruiser, then you pretty much know you haven't got much chance at all, unless the team opposing you doesn't know what they're doing at all, or they've got a cruiser or they've got an Inti in their team. So this guy is starting to go down. I'm going to approach. I don't think I need to, but he's not going to do much at this point. And there we go. So pretty easy one to start with. Let's see who we get next. I'll give it 10 seconds before I hit continue, just so I don't run into the same guy straight away. Well, maybe I will anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's jump in. Okay. And actually what I'm going to do on here is I'm going to go for 1, and I will. So I'm not sure, because on Sundays this DIR is open for 12 hours, I think, consecutively, so it's possible there's not as much demand because it's open all day. I know some people are asking for it to be open all day, but I think you could end up in a situation where you get people burning out from it. Alright, so what we've got looks like 2 Hurricanes here and a Nightmare. Oh wow, this is going to be interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to go... Oh, sorry, it's a Vexor. Not a nightmare, a Vexor. Okay. Well, let's just go for... We'll go for the hurricane that's closest. Again, I will take a look at them in a second and see whether they are tanky hurricanes. Let's just, again, we'll move the fleet backwards a little bit. Okay, my first missile should be arriving soon. Oh, wow, not a tanky. Okay. So, okay. Let's turn on my painters again. And let's look up the Vexor just in case he goes down. In fact, I might as well start approaching these guys because there's no point kiting them now. Nothing here that's too scary. Okay, so 40. Wow. I don't know what these guys are doing, but it's not very sensible anyway. It's possible they're just doing it to get, I think if you just participate, you get some, I don't know if it's one of those lucky splendid bottles or something. Let's just approach this guy. My missiles will be landing soon, and well, there you go. Strange. I think that's the shortest game I've ever had. Yeah, and if I'd been using something like an Apoc where you don't have to wait for the missiles to do all the travelling, it would have been quicker still. Okay, let's jump into another one. So maybe we'll get up to 6 matches tonight, depends on how the rest go. Let's jump in. Okay, let's see what comes in on this time. Okay, a hurricane. Well, the Apoc is definitely primary here, so let's just get that locked first. Focus fire, focus fire, focus fire, and get my tank on. Again, the Apoc doesn't seem to be shooting, and then I will go for the hurricane. So again, I feel sorry for this Apoc dude here. He's doing some damage to one of my ravens. But again, just one Apoc on his own is just basically target practice. And then I'm going to lock up the... I don't know if these guys are just hoping that they will find someone who will carry them through these fights. Yeah, the Apoc is doing a lot of damage. He's got 50% shield on one of my ships. I'm not orbiting or anything like that because I didn't feel the need. So now we're onto the Vexor, which if it does the same as it did in the last game, it's going to pop instantly. I will actually turn on my ballistics. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's gone. And yeah, the Apoc was Lady Gaga, apparently. So yeah, there's a downside to running 3 accounts in that you obviously have to try and juggle everything, jump back and forth, turn on your tank on one ship at a time, whereas if you're 3 players, you can do a lot of that kind of instantaneously on all 3 ships. You can, but at the same time, it is a big advantage having 2 other shipmates or 2 other accounts that you know exactly how they're fitted and you know exactly what they're going to be targeting. That is a big advantage, especially over these pickup routes. Okay, so let's go into another one. Let's see what we get this time. Again, this is running, so 11 seconds is not too bad. as I said, this has been running all day, so I guess there is some fatigue with it by this time. I mean, it's been open since a good 7 or so hours. Oh no, a good 19 or so hours. So, right, let's see what is the selection here. Okay, so a little bit more challenging. Bhaalgorn, Rokh. Let's get the tank on. So the Rokh will be my primary because it's the only one I'm worried about doing any damage at range. Again, I am going to start moving away, particularly the Rattlesnake. They can be super tanky, and so therefore it's wise to put a little bit of range on them. Approach there, approach there. And, oh, I've just had a crash. Oh, that's not handy. That's not good. Okay, well, the Rokh is down anyway. We will go on to the Bhaalgorn now and hopefully toast as much of him as possible. But one of my accounts is crashed currently. Okay. Hitting start. So he won't be shooting at anybody, so it's just 2 ships at the moment on the Bhaalgorn. Okay, so doing some damage. I'll put my ballistic on there now. Okay, so this guy is just logging in. We are still moving away, which means that once the Bhaalgorn goes down, it just leaves us a lot of time to work on the Raven. Oh, sorry, on the Rattlesnake. Okay, and my account is just coming back in. Is he shooting at anybody? He's still following, which was the orders I gave him. Okay, so onto the Bhaalgorn, and let's lock up the, so let's focus fire on the Bhaalgorn, and get my target painters on, and put one of my ballistics on as well. Zoom out there. So the Bhaalgorn's continuing to come in, but again, the speed with which the Rokh went down meant that I was able to shoot the Bhaalgorn pretty damn quickly. Okay, so now we're on to the Rattlesnake. I will keep moving away from him from now, because at this range, he's not going to do any damage to me at all. It just lets me kind of work on him and soften him up. At some point, I do have to turn around because the bubble will be shrinking. I don't know if you can see it here, the safe area. So I'm a few kilometers away from the edge there, so I will start moving back in at some point, but for now I will just keep hitting him from here, and again not taking any damage. I'm going to actually turn my shield boosters off on all 3 accounts for now, save a bit of cap. Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be an armor tanked Rattlesnake. No, 14k hit there. Alright, so there we go. So I think that was my 4th fight. Let's just move this out of the way. Yeah, blasting through them at the moment. There's been a few easy ones there. That one on paper, a Rattlesnake, Rokh and Bhaalgorn should be a tough match. Two very nice faction ships. But the Rokh melted so quickly, it just kind of gave us an opportunity to kill the Bhaalgorn at our leisure, and then once that's down, the Rattlesnake isn't really a threat unless it's up close. They're super tanky and they're a pain in the ass if you're down to 1 ship, but if you've still got 3 ships, then you don't have to worry too much. What are we getting here? Oh, same guys again. Oh, except they've got a nightmare now. Right, this will be a lot tougher. Okay, so they've lost the, and Tomahawk in that Vindicator is actually quite a toughie. So I think I'm going to go for the Bhaalgorn first. Oh, it's Swiftness. Isn't he the guy leading? Oh, this is the top team. This is the top team. Okay, so I need to start moving away. These are the guys at the top of the table. So I'm just going to start moving away. Actually, no, I'm not hitting I have to hit the nightmare. What am I doing? Focus fire, and then yeah, these guys are the toughest team going at the moment. Swiftness is at the top of I think number 1 in the ranking. So this will be a good test. It'll be interesting to see how this this nightmare does. I'm doing some damage now. They are approaching pretty quickly, so I need to kind of just make sure I am trying to drag this out as much as possible, because when that Vindicator and Bhaalgorn get on top of me, I'm screwed. So I have to try and take down that nightmare as quick as possible. Yeah, so the good news is the nightmare is going down, but the bad news is they've got prop mods. So they're probably going to get onto me well before me actually killing that nightmare. And even if I kill the nightmare, then I'm going to have a Bhaalgorn up close sucking my cap, and I'm going to have a Vindicator just blasting out some amazing damage. So this weirdly is the first time I've actually fought Swiftness. So yeah, the nightmare is slowly going down. I'm just going to, let's see if I can get my drones up to him as well, which will help. Yeah, okay, in comes the Vindicator, at which point I'm going to start, yeah, they've removed half my shield already on one of my ships. Yeah, I'm pretty screwed here. This is a very, very solid team. Yeah, that Vindicator is doing a lot of damage. Actually, let's stick some webs on him, try and keep him at range a little bit. Actually, no, not on him. And then the Bhaalgorn is going to be sucking cap soon as well. Let's have a look. We are on the edge of pushing that nightmare into armor, but he's got an active tank, and I'm about to lose a ship. So I would say that this is pretty much all over. Well, and they're going for the right order as well in terms of who they're shooting. Well, I'm going to kill the nightmare, I think. I'm going to kill the nightmare. The nightmare is down, so let's see if we can get rid of this. Let's see if we can get rid of this Vindy quickly. But I know I've fought Talahak before, and he's pretty tough. But he may not be tanky. That's the thing. He may not be tanky. I will then have issues with my cap. They're not shooting this account. I'm going to turn off there. Let's see how tanky this guy is. Because that's the thing with some of these ships, they're under the nightmare shield, so they don't need to put. But I'm in structure now. Once that goes, I'm screwed. My Elasticant is a little bit more tanky, but I'm going to be losing my cap and everything. Maybe I can take down the Vindy, let's see. But probably not. I have got a damage control. I'm going to slap on now. And I've activated my active tank. Yeah, come on, let's get the Vindy down. It'd be nice to do one on these guys. Come on, come on, come on, come on. 2 9k hits. I might, if I can just creep in there. I'm not sure if he's got active tank, just watching him. Doesn't look like it. So the Vindy might go down. And then we're up against the #1 player, and my cap is disappearing at an awesome rate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually try and move away. I'm actually going to turn my webs off in a second. I'll keep them on until the... Come on, let's kill that Vindy. Oh, he's got a shield extender. I'm screwed. I'm not going to kill. No, 9,000. 4 kilometers. Come on, just one more hit. The Vindy goes down. Come on, one more. Has he got damage control? No! Ay, ay, ay. My cap's on 17%. Come on, let's take the Vindy down. No, no. Okay. Well, you can see why those guys are the #1 team. That's a pretty solid setup. Vindicator, Bhaalgorn. They've got prop mods on, so they close the gap pretty quickly. Quite honestly, though, that was a closer fight than I thought it would be. The kind of nightmare setup that really gives me nightmares is the nightmare with 2 snipers. who can basically bash me to death from range, and there's nothing I can do about it at all. So that one, for me, is not quite as scary, but that's a pretty damn good team, and they know what they're doing. Which is why Swiftness is at, I think, #1 currently on the leaderboard, and that Tomahawk, I think I've seen his name in the top 25, 30 as well, so he's around there as well. So they know what they're doing. So yeah, I died, but I did kill their Nightmare, and I almost killed their Vindy, so I'm not too ashamed about that. So anyway, let's see what time's left on this one. 20 minutes, so let's jump in. We'll see if we can get something else. I've talked a bit now, so maybe I won't get that team again. I don't want that team because, unfortunately, when you do lose a game against one of the top teams, your kind of score drops even more rapidly, so you just end up going backwards. So I kind of wonder if I had a Nightmare, but unfortunately I'm poor. If I had a Nightmare along with 2 Raven Strikers, I think I would be giving these guys a run for their money. Because certainly up until the point where the Nightmare started working again, I think I was 4th in the rankings, 4th, 5th and 6th with my 3 ships and moving up despite not having that much time to play. Oh, a Barghest. Okay, well, first of all, the Apoc. I did come up against a Barghest yesterday, and they do a lot of damage. Sorry, a Barghest, but my primary is to get the Apoc out of things first. And let's approach and approach. So we're moving away. Let's get my target painters on, and then all my ballistics onto that Apoc. He is shield. And then the Barghest, maybe I should have taken the Barghest first, but again, Apocs just do so much damage. At range, I can't get out of their range. Other things I can get out of range. So I'm on about about almost 50% shields. I've met this Mr. Blancon before. He's also in the top 50 or so. I've seen him, I think he's above me. That Muntlet is a kind of common player as well. I think this could be 2 losses in a row, actually. So actually, I'm going to have to approach these guys because I've drifted out of range on the Apoc. That's really annoying. And the Apoc's still hitting me, so that's not so good. And I've got to wait for all my missiles to go again. Yeah, the Apoc was wise there. He's backed out of range. I'm not sure if the Barghest gets a range bonus in the same way that... I'm not sure if the Barghest gets a range bonus. So all of these guys are also... I don't know the Barghest pilot, but the other 2 are certainly well known to me. And are good pilots who are often just kind of let down by their teammates. So yeah, let's try and do as much damage to the Barghest as possible, because he's obviously doing quite a bit of damage to me. The Apoc is obviously still doing damage. I'm going to wait till he creeps in a bit. It does mean I have to get a bit closer to the Rattlesnake than I'd like at this stage in the fight, but there you go. Okay, so let's put my ballistics on. I've still got shield. The Barghest is going to go down, okay, which is good, which will reduce some of the damage coming in. And let's approach the Apoc. See, the Apoc is clever. He's staying at distance. I'm going to have to actually focus on the Rattlesnake. And this guy is very tanky as well. And I am down now to armor. But again, we have to see. Actually, I will move out again. I mean, the Apoc will probably still be able to hit me, but I want to keep away from the Rattlesnake for as long as possible. Okay, let's see. Yeah, they've got me into half armor. My tank is still holding up. The Rattlesnake is closing, so the Rattlesnake will be adding damage on now. And that Apoc is staying out there. Again, depends how tanky the Rattlesnake is. He's got shield extenders. But he is taking fire from 3 ships. He's still coming closer to me, so I can keep drifting away from him. And what I will do with one of my ships is get a little bit close and get some webs on him as well. I'm hitting structure now, so he's obviously focusing fire. I might take down the Rattlesnake, but I am going to lose a ship in the meantime. If I lose one ship, my DPS is going to drop and it'll make that Rattlesnake extremely tough. Actually, let's get here. The Rattlesnake's coming in fast. Let's get the webs on him. Webs on him. Focus fire. Focus fire. Focus fire. That will put my drones on. I'm still in like about 2% structure. There we go. I've lost one of my ravens. So now the Apoc is closing into range again. I'm going to orbit this guy. I will orbit here as well. Actually, maybe this guy, my second pilot, I'm going to keep moving out. Where is the Apoc? Is over there. So the Apoc is shooting this target here. So the problem is the Rattlesnake is hard to kill with just 2 ships. I will have my damage control to go on in a sec. We'll have a damage control there. But that Apoc is not super. It's not a super DPS Apoc. I mean, he is hitting, but he's not hitting that hard. And okay, we're back into the armor on the Rattlesnake. He could go down soon. If that happens, then it will be interesting. I am going to start approaching the Apoc anyway. Okay, the Rattlesnake is down. That leaves me the Apoc. It just depends on whether he can stay out of range. I am going to approach him, so I'm going to have to try and push him to the edge. One of my ships is in range, but actually let's turn off my shield there. Okay, my second ship is coming in range. If I can get both of these in range, then I might have a chance of turning this over. Okay, yeah, so he's in range now. And I've put a damage on there. So this Apoc is definitely a more tanky Apoc, and also the pilot knows what he's doing. He survived long enough to put himself out of my range. I am approaching now. I'm on 50% shield on one of my ravens, so which is pretty fine. Again, this has been a pretty good match. So these are the last 2 have been two good fights. Yeah, this will be the last one because I'm up to 27 minutes now, but I hope you guys enjoy this because, as I said, this Muntlet is, again, a top 50 player. Mr. Bhaalgorn is top 50 player, and the other guy was in a Barghest. So I don't know what the ISK value of that team was, but they've just been killed by 3 Raven Strikers. But a good fight. There we go. All right, so let me just cancel that. So anyway, guys, that's it because we're up to 28 minutes. It's quite nice. I don't know how many fights that was, but I will upload that shortly. You can definitely see why Swiftness in his Bhaalgorn, along with, I can't remember who the other pilot was in the Nightmare, is such a tough team. That Vindicator and Bhaalgorn, when they're getting close under the bubble, very, very hard to do anything about. As I said, I'm just happy I killed the Nightmare and almost took down the Vindy, but you can see why they're number 1. That's definitely a very, very hard team to beat. The only thing I could think of that might cause some problems is if they came up against a 3 Apoc striker team that again kited them for a while and were doing like striker type damage onto that Nightmare, because they'd be doing a lot more damage than I'm doing, and that Nightmare wasn't super tanky. If they took the Nightmare out quickly enough, then it might give them a chance to kill the Vindicator and the Bhaalgorn, but they also closed in pretty fast, so they would have to do a lot of DPS at the outset and just really focus that Nightmare down. So anyway, thank you guys. Hope you like. Please do subscribe if you did, and I will see you around. Fly safe. Bye.